Immigrants do not come here for a handout. They come here for the same reason that immigrants have always come here, for freedom, for opportunity, and to ultimately to benefit their children. I think that the greatest education you can get in Washington is not in a university, it's riding around in a cab and talking to cab drivers. And you meet these guys who come from Ethiopia or come from Nigeria or come from Pakistan, and ask them what they were doing when they left. And you will find that they were an engineer, or they were a lawyer, or they were a teacher, and they're here driving a cab, and sometimes working 2-3 jobs. And they got 2-3 kids, and they're putting their kids through school, and they're the same kind of heroes that my dad was. They're people who came here and gave up everything they had because they wanted their kids to live in freedom and to have opportunity. It's the same with every one of them. My hometown, Utica, was dying, is still dying in some ways. Went from 100,000 people when the factories closed to 50-something thousand. And then we got Bosnians, and 7,000 Bosnians came to Utica. And guess what? Neighborhoods that I thought would never come back have been restored beautifully, and businesses have been created, and the community is doing incredible work building the city. Hazleton, Pennsylvania went from 31,000 people down to about 18 to 20,000 people, and then Latinos started to come in. Maybe 5,000–6,000 Latinos came, and what happened was downtown Hazleton, which was all boarded up, the boards came off, and Latino businesses opened to serve the new community. People were working, people were benefiting, and then Hazleton passed their anti-immigration law. And what happened was the people left, because the people who were being harassed were not the undocumented, but it was all the Latinos were being harassed. They were all being called criminals. They were all being called illegal, etc. And my brother was hired by the city council to do a study. When he opened the study by saying, I never saw a city commit suicide before. You just did. You drove away the people who were going to be your future. People think that immigrants in the first generation are a tax burden on the country. They're actually not. They contribute billions of dollars in growth to the economy because of the hard work and the taxes that they pay. So I think that, you know, it's the assumption that they're here to draw benefits. That's part of the assumption that's been projected by the bigots who don't want immigrants here. The reality is the exact opposite, and we need to look at those numbers in the hard, cold light of day and see that immigrants are today what they were a century ago. They're an economic asset that benefit growth and ultimately transform the country for the good.